Hey there, folks. Okie dokie. So we're gonna do some shooting today, and it's hopefully gonna be a lot of fun for us. We put some new scope rings on the old rifles, and we're gonna see how it goes. We're back at the ranch, gonna do a little bit of shooting. I got a fresh precision target mounted here. We put some new scope rings on a couple of our rifles, the 6.5 Creedmoor, and also our 17 HMR. So we're going to go ahead and run down range, set up shop, and start popping away and see where we're ending up. Hornady 17 HMR. I typically buy CCI ammunition, so we're going to go ahead and see what we can do with this Hornady. I think it'll also be fun to do a little comparison video after we get the 17 HMR sighted in. See if you get better groupings with Hornady or CCI. But seeing as how the 17 HMR was created by Hornady, I would imagine that this ammo is pretty darn good. So let's go ahead and load up the magazine and start shooting some rounds down range. If you guys will recall, when I first got this 17 HMR and I put this Pinty 50mm scope on this guy, it had some very high, tall scope rings. I mean, the end of the scope was, I mean, you could stick your whole finger underneath here, so it wasn't really flush and too close to the barrel. And of course, you know, the closer the scope is to the barrel, the tighter, better accuracy you're going to get at all distances. So that's the reason why we have taken the scope rings and dropped them. So we have some lower scope rings. I got them tightened up pretty good, and yeah, it's got a pretty good zoom on the scope, so I can see exactly where we are downrange. We'll go ahead and pop off 3 rounds and see where it's hitting on paper. Back around, I had a little bit of bubble wrap. I just kind of twisted it up and carefully put it in my ears because I forgot my hearing protection back at the house. But let's see here where we're gonna hit. All right, let's go run down there and take a look at where it hit. All right, so coming down here at first glance, you know, I was like, crap, I'm not seeing anything. For a second, I was like, oh, there they are. But those are actually just some example points as far as what you want to do with your 3 shots. But then I noticed up here, up on the top left corner, I did not put that hole there prior, so I know that is one of the rounds. So I'm way up to the top left, and we just got to go ahead and bring it down a good 10 inches, 10 inches down, and then over to the right about 8 inches. So 8 down and 8 over to the right. So we'll go ahead and run that dial and take 3 more shots and see where we end up. All right, so we'll take some more of our Hornady VMAX. Take another 3 rounds. Load up our magazine. 1, 2, 3. With our scope adjustment covers removed, you can see here on the top that counterclockwise, if this camera will focus, counterclockwise is up. So that's, you know, so your next series of shots, if we were to twist this to the right, it would send them higher to the left. But we don't want that. We want to go ahead and crank this down quite a bit. So we want the opposite. So we're going to go, instead of counterclockwise, we're going to go clockwise. Quite a bit too. I'd say somewhere around there. And if we look on the other side, clockwise sends it to the left. So you can see there that little L, there's that little arrow here where my middle finger is. It's got that arrow showing that L for left, so if we want the bullets to go left, then we'll just go ahead and turn it clockwise. But since we want them to go to the right a good 8 inches, we're going to go ahead and crank this the other direction. So we'll do about that many, see where that ends up. Let's see where these end up. If you guys are wondering, I typically do not use this for sighting in my rifles. My uncle had given it to me and said, hey, you know, if you want to use this, feel free to use it. So I'm trying it out. It's called a sight and clean. Sight and clean. And it seems like it's good for, you know, for propping up the rifle, and it snaps together. It's something you can throw on the back of the four-wheeler, and it's pretty simple. So I'm trying to use it as best I can, but typically I just use a big bag of beans. But anywho, let's see where this next round is going to end up. Okay, let's go take a look at that. All right, where are we? So we went a little too far down, way too far down, too many clickies, and a little too far to the right, but mostly on the downside. So, but first shot, next three, not the greatest grouping, but I am not the greatest marksman. Let's go ahead and make some adjustments. We'll go up about 4 inches. And we'll try and make our way over to the left a good 1.5 inches. All right, well, I think this just goes to show that I really am not a great marksman. You know, I try to be as steady as I can, but I'm kind of a fidgety guy. I can't help myself. So you can see here that we have 3 shots, 1, 2, 3. So started up at the top left, came too far down and over to the right. We worked our way back up to the left, and I think it's safe to say it's hitting close. I just I'm not staying steady with my shots, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and probably try some with the traditional way that I do it, and find a bag of beans in the kitchen and just take it out so I can really steady myself. But still not the greatest grouping at all. Especially for a 17 HMR, these are known to be extremely precise. I really should have these a lot closer together, at least in the same square, but something's off. I guess I need to go ahead and go back to the drawing board, or just stop shooting altogether. But anywho, this is decent enough for tonight. We might have some activity at some of our lights, so my big thing was making sure that I would be able to hit something within this group at 100 yards. So if something's at 80 yards or a little bit less, I shouldn't have any problems with hitting it, as long as I keep those crosshairs on it and keep it steady. So, well, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that, guys. Thanks for watching this short video on shooting at 100 yards with a 17 HMR. One comment I do want to make with my busted finger is that the scope that I have on there is one of those budget scopes that you can pick up at Amazon or eBay for gosh, I think it was only $40. So not the greatest scope. Looks great, looks intimidating, but I'm gonna go ahead and do a video review on that here soon, so stay tuned. But appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, whatever it might be, but we will see you next time. Bye.